All right, joining us today, former East Carolina great Justin Hardy is it's NFL Draft Week. We'll talk about some of those memories and Justin getting closer to his season up in the CFL. Justin, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Hey, doing great. Appreciate your time as always. Justin joining us courtesy of Social House Vodka. We'll talk about his own personal vodka before we wrap up today. But Justin, it is NFL Draft Week. What memories do you have when I say that? What comes to mind those couple of days leading up to the NFL Draft for you?
A lot of things. Anxiety a little bit. Not knowing necessarily where your future is going to be. That next chapter of your life. It's a next step. The writing the book. So that was the big thing that I guess you could say that was exciting leading up to the draft, and then actually getting your name called, just figuring out where you're going.
So a fourth round pick, Justin, going into the draft. Did you hear, hey, you might be second or third, or did you hear, hey, you might have to wait till the fifth or sixth, or did you know fourth? Like, what was kind of the different things you heard going into it?
Going into the draft, they had me going between the second and the fourth round. So anywhere between those two rounds, I was looking to hear my name called. So usually that's typically on I think the fourth round starting the third day. So the first day and second day go past. So it's not really too much I'm doing on the first day or was doing on the first day, really just relaxing and just enjoying the time with my family.
I remember telling you last week I thought there might be a chance that my Redskins would get you, but they took, I believe it was Jamison Crowder, a little bit ahead of you in that draft. And then you told me last week that you had not spoken with Washington, that they were not going to be your destination. But were you kind of looking around at other receivers being taken when you were taken, and kind of saying, all right, where do I slot in with these guys?
Not necessarily because I understood that teams go off of what their needs are. And for some teams, they might need an outside receiver, a primary outside receiver that was maybe 6'3", 6'4". You know what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily me looking at the other receivers that was taken, but understanding that the process of what teams needed at the time. So I never really looked at it like that.
And the draft is an inexact science. I'm looking at it here, and yeah, Washington took Crowder 2 picks ahead of Justin Hardy. In the next round, a guy named Stephon Diggs gets drafted in the fifth round. You go a few rounds later, Darren Waller goes in the sixth round. So again, it's an inexact science, right? You don't know what you're going to end up with.
Correct.
Justin, how about the days following the draft? What's the so you get picked on a Saturday? Like, how quickly are you boom connected with the Falcons and they're doing work with them?
Pretty much immediately. As soon as you get the call that we want to draft you, we had the whole process of going through that phone call, and then there's rookie minicamp, which I want to say is probably a week after the draft, maybe. So come in, do those things, and make sure you're together and showcasing what the team's going to be looking to see in the next year or the year to come to see. So that really what it was going on at that point.
Yeah, and one thing I talked to Holt Nailers about, Rajay Harris is going through it right now. He's trying to stay in the best shape of his life. Like, you don't want to get there and get in shape. You got to be ready to go right from day one.
Correct, because I will say for my rookie mini camp, it wasn't that many receivers, and we went spread the whole time. So definitely got to make sure you're in shape because you're not coming out.
Do you meet any of the vets rookie minicamp, or is it all rookies and coaches?
It's all rookies and coaches during rookie mini camp, and maybe the exception of a few guys that they're trying to look at that maybe they picked up the year before.
Was Dan Quinn the coach when Atlanta drafted you?
Yes.
All right. How much like conversation do you have with the head coach, and how much is it kind of position coaches, coordinator, stuff like that early on?
You mean like
Well, how
as soon
about
as you get
draft day?
drafted?
Did you hear from Coach Quinn draft day?
Oh yeah, yeah. I spoke to Coach Quinn draft day. Spoke to Coach Quinn. Spoke to the owner of the team, Arthur Blank. So spoke to those guys, and then they gave their spiel on welcome me into Atlanta. Looking forward to seeing me and getting to work. And
And
then
then
probably within the next couple of days, you talk to your OC, your position coach,
right.
equipment staff guys, training staff. Go down the whole list of line of guys.
And then when you get to rookie camp, is it all the coaches are there with you?
Yep, all the
Yeah.
coaches out there.
What was working with Kyle Shanahan like? I still consider him one of the best in the game right now. What was he
Uh,
like getting to work with him as a coordinator?
I tell people all the time I was put in a lucky situation to go from Lincoln Riley to Kyle Shanahan because they're both great minds when it comes to play calling. So he was a great mind, like I just said. Him being able to put guys in the right position to be the best that they can be, it was unheard of at the time. So he was very good.
You've mentioned this, Justin. How much special teams did, and maybe that's more of after rookie mini camp and stuff like that. But how quickly did they say, "All right, Hardy, we want you as a receiver, but you're gonna have to play special teams"? How quickly did you go to that side?
To be honest, I was already there because just looking at who we had in the room, my chances of getting on the field was going to be through special teams.
Right.
So me understanding that, understanding my role at the time, not saying I couldn't play receiver, but understanding my role at the time was going to be a football player. So I might have to go on offensive, special teams, and defensive. If I got to make a tackle, I got to make a tackle. So that's really my mindset going into it. It wasn't necessarily them having to come to me and say like, "Nah, you gonna come play special teams." Like I already kind of had it in mind that this is my way to get on the field.
The reason I think Shanahan's great is because he had Robert Griffin III in 2012. They were running a different offense than he's running with Matt Ryan there in Atlanta. But like, how much feedback? And not when you're a rookie. He's probably talking to Matt Ryan and Julio and Roddy White. But as you get older, do the players have kind of any input talking to Coach Shanahan, or is it kind of his way and y'all are going to do what he designs? How much kind of back and forth talking is there with the players?
That's definitely a lot of back and forth because at the end of the day, we the ones that's out there actually making the plays come to life. Like it's one thing to call it, but to actually go out there and do it's another thing. So we got to make sure we always on the same page and going off what we see and letting it know that this is how we're getting played, or this is what the coverage they're showing us to make sure we're in the right play.
How about at ECU, Justin? How much did you and Shane go to Lincoln and say, "Hey, have you thought about this, or can we get some of this in there?"
All the time,
Yeah,
all the time, all the time. Like you would think majority of our days was if we wasn't with our position coach, we were with Coach Riley and trying to figure out what we can do to, put our best foot forward.
Justin, you were a part of talked about this with Rajay that a lot of the trick plays get left on the cutting room floor, but saw you and Shane and the guys run a few during your time. How excited were you when that play you've worked on in practice finally gets called and you get to throw a ball or catch one from another receiver?
No, it's always fun because at that point in time, because that play can be a momentum changer for the whole team. We can be down and get that play call, and we back up, or what I'm saying, it could be where we already up and then the play is called and get the momentum going even more. So you love to hear those plays called, especially when you practice it all the time and then it's actually getting called.
How many passes did you throw at ECU? Do you remember?
Uh, Probably close to six.
Yeah. Do you remember your numbers? I need to look those up.
I probably about 500, probably
3 for 6.
3 for 6, maybe 4 for
Any
6, maybe.
touchdowns?
Yep. I do one to Zay against North Carolina Central.
Okay.
Um, I think that's the only touchdown I threw.
Did you ever throw one to Carden? I feel like he caught
Nope,
one,
that
didn't
was Cam.
he?
Cam do
Okay.
it to Cardin in the St. Pete
In
Bowl.
the bowl game, yeah.
Hmm.
Yep, good deal. Justin Hardy joining us. Justin, last night, former Pirate Zach Agnos made his Major League Baseball debut. He got called up by the Rockies, went in, pitched
Nice.
the eighth inning. They did an interview with his family. He's got an all-time family man. His brother Jake played here. His mom was interviewed, and I was just curious, like your NFL debut or that first year, man, you got to do your job and everything, but do you get to like soak it all in, or is that something that comes kind of later in life when you think about those things?
I think it comes a little bit later in life because I don't think people realize how long those first 2 years are in the league. Like it's gonna go by so fast because You think after your senior year, you play a bowl game, you go immediately to training, combine, senior bowl, whatever bowl game you're playing in,
Yeah.
workouts, pre-draft, draft. Then you go to rookie mini camp, then OTAs, then regular camp, season, and then your off season. And it's not really your off season because at that time you really don't have an off season because you want to put the best foot forward going to the next year. So it's like you're not really getting no time off during those times. So it's really hard to just sit back and think as far as after those moments happen. Like I feel like the only time you really able to sit back and really understand what happened is when you're all done.
That's a great point, man. It never stops, and it seems like, and you're working out right now, getting ready for your CFL season. But like, have you learned how to split up your time a little bit and get a little more of that time off now that you got a family, you got things going on, to where you can enjoy time away from football? Like, does that get a little easier for you as you get older?
I guess you could say that because, like I said, it's been football for so long. You kind of understand the nuances of things that
Yeah.
go in throughout the season. You know when you need to be in tip top shape. You know when you need to be, ready to go. So I can't say it gets a little bit easier, as far as like managing your time as you get older, for sure.
Justin Hardy joining us, courtesy of Social House Vodka. You can get the J Rock Limited Edition Justin Hardy Vodka at socialhousevodka.com. Uh, Justin, you watch any NBA playoffs this weekend?
I did not.
You watch you watched the Carolina Hurricanes win yesterday.
I
Do
seen
you
highlights.
do you have a hockey team? I know you said you've know a little bit about it now that you're in Canada. Like, do you pull for the Hurricanes or a team up north or anything?
I don't have a hockey team, but I do. Like you said, I'm getting into it, so I'm enjoying to watch it now
Yeah.
a little bit more. Growing up, I used to watch the Mighty Ducks, but that wasn't. It's not really the same. But
Yeah.
just understanding the game and whatnot, I'm getting into it now.
There you go. Hey, Justin, enjoyed the chat, man. We'll check out the draft this week, kind of recap that, and once again, another week closer to the CFL season beginning. So, wishing you the best, man. We'll keep in touch with you and do it again soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.